What's up, guys? Sub-Zero here, back for another VOD review. Today, doing another game from the Set 17 playtest, baby. We had a really cool game, this one. As usual, I will be explaining all of these traits and things as we play them, and I'll talk through as much as we can, because I know there is a lot going on here, but just watch for our 3-2 augment this game, because this game gets absolutely crazy. Before we get too far into the action, though, I do want to take a quick sec to shout out today's sponsor, so I'll be right back after that. Today's video is sponsored by Blizzard Entertainment. Hearthstone just dropped their newest expansion, Cataclysm, and they're giving away cards in a way that's honestly crazy. The Dragon's Hoard of Rewards. In it, they're giving players access to all cards in expansions 32 and 33, golden copies included. Look, I bet a lot of you guys are just like me, used to play Hearthstone a ton, but you stopped playing for a little while, then your collection fell behind and you felt like you could never catch up again. These rewards reset the field for everybody, so you can jump back in on a level playing field and build a ton of meta decks. And speaking of the meta, this isn't just a rewards drop. Cataclysm is a full new Hearthstone year, the year of the Scarab. Core set rotation just happened, which means everybody is learning the meta together. And if you love these classic Warcraft or Hearthstone characters, Deathwing, Alexstrasza, Ragnaros, this expansion is perfect for you. It's a complete refresh on everything that you love about Hearthstone with new keywords and new mechanics. Here's the thing though. The Dragon's Hoard is not permanent. It's only available while Cataclysm is live, so if you've been thinking about coming back, now is genuinely the best time to do it in years. No one's far ahead of you, and you can start brewing with all of these new cards and a fresh meta. Download it for free on mobile or PC, link is in the description, or you can scan the QR code that's on screen now. Thanks again to Blizzard Entertainment for sponsoring this part of the video. All right, let's get into this game. So we start off with an Anima opener, actually. Anima, if you guys haven't seen it yet, is the cash out trait this set, and I actually hit one of the 3 costs for Anima. It is a 1, 2, 3, 3. As far as like the units, there's a 1 cost, a 2 cost, and 2 3 costs, and you need 3 to get in. So one of those cash out traits that's gated behind a 3 cost, and it's very similar to something like a Chem Baron, where you lost streak. As you lost streak more, you can get extra items. I actually hover over it there. But yeah, you want to lose streak. Every loss, you get 15 tech. This scales with player, with stage. So like later in the game, you are getting more tech per loss. And then you also get more tech equal to 5 times the length of your loss streak. So, you know, you can think about like a 6 loss streak, a 7 loss streak. You're getting a lot of tech there. And then you also get tech on takedowns. And the breakpoints for cash outs are 100. Every single time you hit 100, you get the chance to cash. So that's the idea. That's how it works. It's pretty darn cool. In this spot here, I really wanted to play Anima. I do see this new option here, Frontline Foundation, which is really cool, that it just gives you a 2 cost tank and an emblem that matches them. But I'm like, I'm down to loss streak here. I'd love econ, honestly, but I ended up just taking bodyguard training, saying, you know what, I'm fine to take an augment like this that's weak early, strong late, and the idea is I can just loss streak and then, you know, eventually cash out my Anima stuff and then pop off super hard. So that's the game plan here, and we are just going to play a pretty weak board here until then. I think I talked about Nova in my last VOD, but for people who were not watching last VOD, my god, Nova is one of my favorite traits of this set, where you can like splash in all of these different effects. You can splash in Shred and Sunder and Spell Crit just off of playing a couple of units. It's so cool, honestly. Just what they really knocked it out of the park with the traits this set, I would say. Like they did a really good job. It's not like super overwhelming. There's a decent amount of traits where it's like, okay, I've like seen this before. Stargazer, I think we talked about last video, but we didn't actually play. This is a really cool one. So Stargazer, it's like KDA or Street Demon, where it highlights hexes, but it's also like Ionia, where it's a different effect each game. So the Huntress here marks the highest health enemies. The units in the hexes get a bunch of AS. The Stargazers get even more. And then when the marked enemies die, they heal. So really cool. These units all actually, you know, get marked here. So as we kill these, we will heal back up and get a bunch of attack speed onto our board. So cool setup here. Lulu's another actually really cool unit. I don't know that that I hovered her ability this game, but she's the unit where her ability changes each game as well. I believe it's like she can definitely have chill. I think she might be able to have Sunder and Shred or like Heal Cut and stuff like that. Those kind of like utility effects. I think it's the same as the kind of I'm gonna call him Namzi, but like the monster trainer, like the Rammus Kog'Maw plus, what was the last one? Smolder, where you can have like Heal Cut, or you can have Shred Sunder, or you can have Chill. Well, Rammus was a frontline, but Chill kind of replaces the Rammus there. I think it's the same way with Lulu, but I haven't actually, experienced fully it. Mystery Loot or Solar Hex here. I don't actually remember what I take here. I'm too much of a fan of the Mystery Loot, low-key. What components do I need here? I mean, Solar Hex, like the bow is a better component here, but I think, yeah, I'm just like, you know what? Give me the mystery box. I'll never turn down what's in the box, even though, sometimes it can be bad. And you can see most of the lobby as well with all the people who have the little orange guys flying around here. These are all people who have taken Mystery Loot as well. So only a few people interested in the Yasuo hexes. So, yeah. Sadly, because we didn't lost streak that hard, we didn't actually have the ability to go deep into to Anima this game. So I am just going to play a normal strong opener with Stargazer here. We're not going to try to play Anima too hard. Oh yeah, what we got from our mystery box was this this item. I forget what it's actually called, and I'm really bad because I'm doing this on 2x speed, so apologies. Pocket Recombobb, where this has been an augment in the past where it upgrades a 1 or 2 cost to a unit a cost higher. So I can throw on this, and it turns a 2 cost into a 3 cost. Obviously, if you throw it on upgraded units, you can like make an upgraded 1 cost into an upgraded 2 cost. But I was thinking about it, and I'm like, do I actually really want to lose this Briar 2 for an average 2-star 2 cost? Like, not really. Briar actually fits pretty nicely onto my board, and like a lot of 2 costs are probably not that great. So I just go for the dupe here, can use it for some gold. Do find Gwen 2 here, who's a rogue unit. Rogue's a pretty fun trait where they all gain AD and AP, and then they also have this like Edge of Night style effect. So when they drop below 50% HP, they get, they drop aggro essentially. And they get, a bunch of AD and AP. 4 is 45 AD and AP, which if you don't play TFT, then why are you watching my videos? But 45 AD and AP, it's kind of a lot. So yeah, it's not bad at all. And this Gwen 2 unit, really nice. She's a Groovian, a Space Groove, which I think I covered in the last video as well, but it's this idea that the units in Space Groove, they can enter the groove, getting AS and max HP regen, and they can enter the groove in different ways. So Gwen enters the groove by hitting units when her target is under 40% HP, she's in the groove. So she wants to just like really burst units quickly, get in the groove, get that attack speed and that health regen, and then have that be enough to keep her jumping from target to target, getting these extra like damage on autos, and also snipping around. Her snip is really satisfying. So, and it's also 2-cost Gwen is actually pretty unique. Have we ever had a 2-cost Gwen? I feel like she's used like 4 cost or 3 cost, even like 5 cost before. But I don't know that, has Gwen ever been a 2 cost? Any TFT boomers out there, please check. Okay, so I end up actually putting Anima in here. I think this is something that you can consider because you can see when I hover over this, I actually get 20 tech on loss this stage and only 15 tech on loss on stage 2. So like as you play Anima, like the later you in the game you play Anima, the more you get for loss streaking. If you guys remember, people used to do this kind of idea with Hearthstone, where they would win streak in the early game and then get it in like late stage 4, early stage 5, and then get a lot of value out of it. So it's potentially something that you can do with this. We'll see how good it ends up being. What does end up being quite good and quite interesting is this augment that I find here, Invader Zed. Gain a Bloodthirster on 4-2, gain a Zed. After receiving Zed, he can then appear in your shops. He's a 5-cost attack fighter that creates clones of himself. So, if you're a fan of set 2 Zed, the one that creates clones and clones and clones and clones, that is this Zed attached to an augment that guarantees you a 5 cost. He's exactly the same as, well, actually he's a little bit different, but he is similar to 5 cost Echo in set 15. It was I forget what it was called, but the one where you had to, take an augment that would then give you an Echo. He's a little bit different in that this Zed is completely traitless. That one, he could be one of a few different traits. This Zed is completely traitless. He just has the Galaxy Slayer trait. And the other thing to know about this Zed is that the augment just gives you the 1, right? It just gives you 1 Zed at 4-2. It does not, like the Echo Augment, give you more and more echoes and just kind of like naturally you into the Echo 2. It's not like, Zehen where you get like the natural Zehen 2. You do have to find the other 2 Zeds in your shops to end up hitting a Zed 2 and really capping out with it. But I will say, we got a few more rounds till we reach there, and we can see just this Gwen snip, 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 poo, poo, poo. If she kills somebody with her snip, she snips another target, so she is this kind of like a reset style unit. I believe I take Ice Hex here, which is a really cool hex where when they drop low, they heal 45% of their max HP, and they kind of like freeze themselves, so they self-stun and heal up. I don't know why. I didn't really read this that well, and I was thinking, oh, it's like an Edge of Night style effect where they like, because everything that works like this is usually like they drop aggro. There is no aggro drop here. This is actually, much better suited to throw onto like a tank where they are just going to take aggro, heal back up, get a bunch of this HP back, really good on units with like high resists. Like I should paint the like Ornn hex right now, but as you can probably predict, I'm a little bit silly about it, and I end up painting the Gwen hex. It's also funny, I'm still positioning for the Stargazer, even though we're not playing that anymore, so a little bit silly there. You can also see Ornn. I love this guy. He starts combat with an extra item, and if you have 3 items onto him, he just starts combat. He transforms one of them into a radiant item, so that guy's a monster. You really, really, really love stuff like Golden Dragon Ornn. I saw so many times on playtests and was just completely disgusting. Like that one, we might need some changes to that one, because every single time you just find one Ornn, throw Golden Dragon on them, throw 2 other items onto them. He turns one of them into Radiant, and you're sitting here with a Golden Dragon Mogul's Mail plus a Radiant item, and the Ornn is completely unkillable. So yeah, guy is a little bit of a beast, I will say here. Also, I try to change my hotkeys, and then I just don't hit the save button, so I have to do this again. So, yeah, I'm trolling a little bit. Look, it takes some getting used to. Also, yeah, we have one AFK in our lobby because, of course, there's some random person who like queues up for a playtest game and then can't actually play it out. But all good. It's fine. It's fine. There is actually, we can talk about the 0-0-5-5 board. I think that's Kai's board, actually, because I was queuing it up with Kai and everybody else who was in the playtest. Kai, I think he was playing this like Lysandra reroll idea, and Lysandra Nasus like should be, or not Nasus, Lysandra Cho'Gathis should be a reroll comp, because they're both 1-cost Darkstar units, and Cho'Gath you really, really want to reroll because he is an infinitely scaling Cho'Gath. He's Cho Bite him, where as he bites people, he gets more HP. If he kills them, he gets a ton of HP. He's actually, he's so cool. I can't wait to play some Cho'Gath reroll this set, just because, I mean, Cho Bite him was such a fun comp in, I'm trying to think of that, man, this is making me feel like a TFT boomer. What set was that with Cho Bite him in it? Here's our Zed unlock. You can see, it's actually funny that they use the unlock thing, just because obviously there aren't any unlocks. So when anybody asks me, are there any unlocks this set, I can tell them, yes, there is one. It's called Zed. But yeah, we see this new one, side effects. When allies heal, they deal 60% of the healing to their target as magic damage. It's kind of interesting, and then it heals your guys as well. I didn't really I wasn't like that jazzed about it, so I was like, I don't know. I see JL here, and I was gonna take JL, but then I see max build, and I'm like, wait, I guarantee 1 5 cost here off the Zed. I'm gonna guarantee a dupe off this. That means I just need to find one more Zed. It's also pretty good econ for me, which I kind of need here. But you can see here, Zed, he creates a clone behind the target with less HP and increased mana cost, but it gets everything. The clone gets the items, the stats, the current HP, and it can cast Quantum Clone, which is this ability. So the Zeds can keep cloning. A few people in my game were like, is this bugged? Is this supposed to do this? And the answer is yes. Now, I will say, don't be too harsh on Zed for these first few fights, because my board does suck a little bit, but you can see he summons a clone and then he kind of gets blown up. I mean, one thing I will say about this Zed is you want really good frontline so that he can keep summoning more and more clones. You want some kind of giga tank on this board so that Zed can really start going, because he scales exponentially, obviously, right? 2 Zeds makes 4 Zeds, makes 8 Zeds, makes 16 Zeds, which makes infinity Zeds. And so the first few casts and getting those Zeds to survive is really important. So I think if you're playing around Galaxy Zed, I mean, he is a threat style unit. You don't need any kind of specific traits to play him. So I do think you should just be considering, having some kind of duo carry, and then the other thing that you should have is just a really, really big front line. Because you can see here the other Zeds kind of get deleted here, but the extra Zeds, look at them go, man. Zeds on Zeds on Zeds, and then that Zed makes some Zeds, and then this Zed can make Zeds. I mean, this is so... I mean, old, set 15 Echo was like kind of whatever. He was kind of fun to play, but this set is sick. I grabbed the Wind Hex here with the idea is like, I can paint a Hex, give Zed some more attack speed. Attack speed is super premium for this Zed, obviously, because you want him to scale up more. I wonder, by the way, what the BIS is on this Zed. Obviously, the items I have on him here are not really optimal. They're just kind of whatever. I imagine it's something like Gwinsu Titans BT, and you just get the Zed to go like truly, truly, truly infinite, because, if he keeps spawning guys, I don't know. I didn't have any kind of stacking item on him this game. I imagine like the Zed clone does not get the Gwinsu, which actually, now that I think about it, maybe that makes Gwinsu Titans not bad. Maybe you want like flat attack speed. Like low-key, it sounds like you almost want red buff here. Also, I get scammed by Mortog. I tried to put my Wind Hex down on the Zed and it just goes onto the Nami for some reason, which I don't know why that happened, but it's actually kind of unlucky, but it's okay. I also, you can see here, because I slammed the cloak onto the Ornn, he spawns a Radiant. I don't actually know if it's better to get a random item or if it is to just Radiantize one of your items. Because like, obviously getting different types of stats is good. You would prefer to have like a variety of stats as opposed to just the double from the Radiant items. But also like, sometimes you're just gonna get a random item that you don't really need that much. It's always just gonna be a tank item, so it's not like you're ever gonna get, Ornn's never gonna roll like a Death Blade or something. But something to think about, right, is like, okay, what am I getting actually out of this this Ornn here? But yeah, you can see the Zed spawning. Now that I have the Ornn too, the Zeds can start to go off a little bit here, and this guy's board does not have much damage. So the Zeds are making more Zeds. I think this guy ends up pinging me. They're like, why are there so many Zeds? What's going on? They're like, yeah, somebody in the lobby asked, my head is covering it, but somebody asked, is it bugged? Which is so funny, but no, it is not bugged. This is how it is intended. I opt to take... Okay, here's a couple of things I do here. One, and if you guys haven't seen the 4-7 Treasure Dragon round, the way that this works is that you get the blessing of the god that you've worshipped more this game. So I've worshipped Yasuo 2 times. I'm always getting Yasuo's blessing, which increases the power of the hexes by 50%. It is also going to give me some gold to work with. But you can roll these, which will be components. It will be items. It will be items and components are the same thing. It'll be gold. So you can roll those to try to kind of like find what you want here. I opt to just take this, which is kind of whatever. I think I probably should have just grabbed this Rocket Swarm here. I don't think it's necessarily like very good on Zed or anything. But just take the item, because instead I'm like, you know what, nah, I'll just chill here. I can lose a few fights. I can actually farm a 300 cash, which is a little bit crazy, I will say. Another thing to point out is that you do not get interest or XP on this 4-7 round. So you'll see right when this round ticks over, I'm still 95 gold, 4 out of 68. So 5-1, 5-3, these are your new like leveling intervals. You do not have to wait until like 5-2, 5-5, that kind of stuff. But yeah, we get some cool stuff in here. Find Sona, which gives us this command mod. Sona is this really cool unit where, yeah, like every single time, every 2 rounds, she like creates a mod, and you can throw these mods on units that do, empower them, and they do not, require item slots. So very, very nice stuff here. Also, we get kind of cleared by this Vex here, who I haven't talked about at all, but she's like an AP attack speed carry. Look at her go. She actually just farms my board, but yeah, she just shoots every auto, like has a shadow attack next to it, and then her active shoots more strikes. So it's like, yeah, I mean, she just kind of machine guns. I mean, this honestly looks like BIS Gwinsu Gunblade, and then the crown, which obviously you're not gonna get a crown every game. But yeah, I get a Zed pair here. I could just dupe the Zed and take it, but I'm like, nah, we're playing max cap this game. We're gonna throw a Blitzcrank onto our board, which this might be the game where I make the mistake of thinking that Blitzcrank is a tank. I will say, there are no 5-cost tanks this set. Every single 5-cost is meant to be a carry. So think about that, right? Do what you need to do accordingly. I think this does make some augments better. Also, look at the Zeds. Look at them go. Oh my God. What's my Zed count this game? What's our max? Can somebody comment and tell me what the max Zed count is this game? Because that round was like 8, I think we ended up with at the end of the board, but I definitely have a higher Zed count, so we will see. Yeah. Okay, I won't forget to use the command mod. Actually, I'm pretty sure I do forget to use the command mod this round, so my bad. Try to play this Fiora unit, who is really, really cool. She's Divine Duelist is her kind of like unique trait, and what that does is the damage that you deal to players, you heal for, I think it's 15% of that. The problem is it was bugged on playtest, so don't blame Fiora. But she is very, very cool. Like, I like this unit a lot here. But yeah, I start to get a little bit low here. I'm like, yeah, maybe I should you know, dupe this Zed, but I just wanted to hit everything that I could here on this fast 9, and also like I didn't feel that bad about you know, like sacking a little bit of HP for the anima here. But yeah, I think I throw, like, thinking Shen is like a tank, I throw some kind of tanky items on him, but he's also not a tank either. He opens up this like rift that does damage. He is really good utility. So he has the bulwark, which is his sword, which gives your units, oh my god, yeah, this is the fight. I think this might be my Zed record here. I end with, that was maybe 10 Zeds on the board. But yeah, the sword gives your team HP and attack speed. It gives it a shield and attack speed. And then also he opens up a rift, which gives the units in your rift get like 70% attack speed or something, and the enemy units lose like 50% or 40% attack speed. Yeah, actually hover him for a quick second there. So let's see if I can we can look at this here, just because his ability is very cool and very interesting. Yeah, so yeah, on cast he gains stacking bonus magic damage, and then he gains true damage later. So he's definitely like not a tank. He does give himself a shield, which is nice, so he's like a little bit tanky, but then he slices open this rift, dealing the passives damage. Yeah, enemies have their attack speed slowed by 50%, while allies gain 80%. They do rapidly decay, so it's not like it's like, you know, that for a whole 3 seconds, but it's still a big amount of attack speed that you remove. So I guess, I mean, at least Shen gives himself a shield and he's a bastion, so I guess like in a pinch you can throw tank items onto him, but he definitely feels like a, you know, like an AP sort of like tanky carry here. Another fight, by the way, where Zed just goes absolutely crazy. The bodyguard training, I think, really nice this game as well, reaching level 9, getting all this extra stats there. I do also have the 3 Space Groovians in on this board. I end up on kind of a cool board. I will say I'm really excited for the boards people cook this set, just because there are so many like small little flex traits that you can fit a few in. The 5 costs are super flexible. Like I do think they did a fantastic job with the flexibility of this set. And we also get a Shojin for the Sona here, which is really, really nice. Yeah, we can just roll down here. There's a lot of stuff left to find here. I was thinking I could play like more Zeds on this board. Honestly, I should have held the Morganas, because once I do get this anima cash out, which I need to just kill enough units, I can't lose. Obviously, if I lose, I die. So I need to win this fight. I was really nervous, but actually these Zeds kind of do a lot of work on the backline here. Some end up dying, but the Zed on the front line ends up just staying up there and doing an insane amount of work. So he gets to clear everybody out, and we do win this fight. And is that the anima cache? It might be, because yeah, you just need to get some takedowns for the last few. I get the Annihilator, which is actually another damage item here. You store the damage that you deal, and then when you die, you deal the stored damage as true damage to all enemies. But it does more damage to the units the closer they are. So you really want to put it on like a melee carry. I think, honestly, Zed should probably be pretty good with this. I wasn't really sure if stored damage meant like the damage you take or the damage... Okay, honestly, reading back, it literally says damage dealt on here, so like I don't know what I was confused about. But I end up throwing it onto the Shen, which is like honestly not even that bad, because he does a little bit of damage. But yeah, I think my itemization this game could have certainly used some work here, but you can see he dealt, you know, not that much damage, 400 damage, and then he's going to annihilate all these units, where I think if you put it on somebody, I really should have put it on Zed, because yeah, like if Zed, you know, deals a ton of damage, then it goes crazy. I think this is my world record Zed, so if somebody wants to go back and tell me how many Zeds that was, please, because that was just absolute disgusting. I pop it off and I'm like, okay, let me put it onto an actual carry. I think I throw it on like Fiora here probably, which is, you know, like good enough here. Yeah, low-key, my itemization doesn't even end up being that bad this game. But yeah, hopefully Fiora can annihilate. I rotate into this guy who was playing Jhin, Bard. Jhin was the most broken unit the whole playtest, by the way. Like, it's so disgusting. But I mean, it's fine. And I just get deleted by him. Who he also has Elder Dragon on his board, by the way, who can get farmed by Bard. Bard as you saw in my last VOD, he can steal units, and oh, I think I showed you guys Elder Dragon, but this guy actually was able to play Elder Dragon, and actually the Elder Dragon did a decent amount of work, which was kind of crazy. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Once again, thank you to Blizzard Entertainment for sponsoring this video. Go check out the link down below to Hearthstone. Give it a few plays, play it on your phone, play it on your PC, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching as always.